Right, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, wa Hashem Yahushai, wa Harakah Kadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I honor to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. And after these scriptures, I'm gonna play a video, and this woman is pretty much understanding the reality that safety and security isn't provided by women for women. Safety and security is provided by men. Provided for women by men. Women live in safety and security based upon the men that provide that for them, and not the other way around. And this is why when society collapses, when all hell breaks loose, if you don't have men that actually care about you, you become a victim and a prey to other men that don't give a damn about you. And that's just the way it is. So all this time these women are being rebellious and I don't need a man and this, that, and the other. No, whichever way you slice it, you don't need a man. Because you cannot provide yourself with security and safety on this planet. You only have that illusion because in the West, there is an illusion of safety, which is really just an illusion. Because if you look at the statistics, women are constantly being assaulted and all these different things, but they have the illusion that they don't need a man and this, that, and the other. It's all bullshit, man. Who do you think the police is? Do you think the police would have any respect or authority if the police was like 80 to 90% women? Come on, man. Alright? Yeah, the fact of the matter is, man, that the time's coming. It's going to be terrible times, and people are going to fall victims to great evil, both men and women. And if the Lord ain't with you in that day, you're finished out here, right? And feminism can't save you, right? This is Isaiah 13 and 14. It says, "And it shall be as the chaste roe, as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee into his own land." Right? Because you're always safest and have most security among your own. Alright? Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. And this is what happens, man. This is what happens, like, especially when one people conquers another people. They'll take your wife and put her on the block, put her on the strip, and pimp her out. That was the scripture said that of us, man. Your wives shall be harlots in the street. That actually happened in terms of these people Jeremiah told her to. They got put into slavery, and their wives were literally pimped out on the street. Them man didn't give a damn about their wives. When a group of men come through and they're looking for food and they're looking for resources, they don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about your wife. They don't give a damn about your daughters. They're gonna do whatever they want to do. And they see some panani and they want it, they're gonna take it. Because who the fuck is gonna stop them? Just the same way they'll take your food, they'll take the panani. And we're coming towards that time. Alright? And these, like the woman says in the video, these realities have been seen. Anytime there's a crisis anywhere, the reality comes to the forefront. But you see, the West has that TV, man. It has that delusion, that witchcraft. Alright? That got these people thinking something different in their mind. But don't worry, the harsh realities are going to come home. This is 2 Ezra 15. We're going to hit straight to the point. because this is the time that's coming. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Now when two opposing forces come against each other, the men on each side don't give a fuck about the women on the other side of that. Yeah, you might care about the women that you got with you, but you don't care about the women that's on the other side. So you better hope you're on the winning side. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because the losing side, I don't give a damn about you. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, one people shall stand up and fight against another, and sword in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're gonna be law unto themselves. They're gonna judge what's right and what's wrong. Yeah. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So even men, of course men are going to be afraid, because men prey upon other men. So if the men are going to be afraid, how much more say the women, who are even weaker and less able to defend themselves, who are even more vulnerable. Alright? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. Yeah, their women is part of that goods. Their women and their daughters, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So that time is coming, man. And these women, man, they're gonna suffer greatly. And especially a lot of the Lord is poetic with it. A lot of these women that's running around here on social media talking about how they don't need men and this, that, and the other, and exterminate all men and men shouldn't exist. You're gonna be wishing that you had your brother or your father or some man that actually cared about you there to protect you. You're gonna wish you had a man that was willing to be a hero to defend you. Because this is what we do know, that a woman cannot provide another woman safety, and neither does a woman try to do that. Women don't go out their way to help other women, especially in physical affairs. Yeah, this is the truth that you need to understand. Like, you could see a woman right at the bottom of a stairs with a pram, and I've watched countless amounts of women. I've seen groups of women walk past those women and not offer to help when they could help. Together they could take that pram up to the top of the stairs. Do you know who does stop to help? A man. And the more familiar that man is with that woman, the more likely they are to help. For instance, if it's a so-called black woman, it's more likely that a black man will help her. Because the more a man feels familiarity towards a woman, the more he's inclined to help her. But women don't really be helping women, man. Neither can they provide any safety. Alright? Because that's not their role on the planet. But you see, they got these movies and these, they're gonna find out, man. It's about to get sticky out here. Alright? It's gonna get real sticky. And that's why you gotta humble yourself, man, because the Lord will put your pride and your false philosophy to the test, and we're gonna see where it stands. So I'm gonna play this video, and she had it going on. She said what it was.
If you ask women and girls what their main fear would be should the world end or society around them collapse, they're going to tell you that part of their fear is what men are going to do to them given the opportunity. And I think part of that is because women are walking around with the knowledge that what stops a lot of men from doing awful things to them is the idea that there might be a repercussion for them, for the man, if they were to be caught and found out, that society would know that they had done this thing, would judge them, that they would go to jail. Like this, I want you to think really carefully about some of the dudes that you know and what they...
Other men in authority will judge them. Other men. Because it doesn't matter what women think. They can't do nothing to you anyway. It's the men that's gonna grab you up. It's the men that's gonna throw you in jail. It's the men that's gonna beat you to death. It's not society, it's the men.
Would do to women and girls if they could guarantee that they would never be caught.
By men.
There's a really poignant scene in The Walking Dead where one of the male characters says something like, if these guys find us, our men are going to be dead and our women are going to wish that they were. And as a former humanitarian aid worker, I was warned about this all the time. I was warned, like, if you go there and you are taken, they will kill the men, but what they will do to you...
That's why you don't... Listen, in Haiti, this is what we do know. In the majority of the world, you don't have no fucking feminists, because then women have to face the reality that they live in a man's world and they need men, especially men of power. Then you're alright. As a woman, if you got a man and he's a man of means and power, then it's all good.
It's going to be so much worse. And also, as a humanitarian aid worker, I have been to countries and spoken to people who witnessed society collapse and the chaos around that because of like extreme weather events or natural phenomenon or even civil war. And the one thing that every one of those scenarios had was women and girls being raped and sexually assaulted. I went to Haiti in 2010 after the earthquake, and I also went to Pakistan after a flood happened in the same year. And in both countries, I spoke to women who were raped or sexually assaulted by men within the chaos, because men seized their opportunity to do something to these women and girls, knowing that it was highly unlikely, because it was chaotic, that they were going to be caught and held accountable for.
Caught and held accountable by other men.
Those actions. And the same thing happened when I went to Jordan a few years ago to speak to Syrian refugees. The women there told me of being raped and sexually assaulted when they were in Syria, when they were trying to escape the civil war, and also after they'd moved to Jordan and were living in refugee camps.
This is why you got these women, they think that the value of having a husband or having a man is just based upon the money he provides. No, you dumb bizatch. It's also based on the fact that that man really love you. That man is gonna go to the furthest extent to protect you. That's what you don't get. Because that random don, the man, for instance, yeah, if you got these hoes, yeah, they're on Instagram and all this bullshit, yeah, and you got guys like paying for titty pics and all this stuff and all that, like a prostitute. There's a reason why historically prostitutes were basically the only victims of sexual crimes, because they were the only women that men could get access to with pretty much no repercussions, because ain't nobody care about a fucking hoe. You know, but when you're a respectable woman, you're gonna have a husband, you're gonna have a family that's behind you, that's gonna be willing to defend your honor, because you have honor to defend. If you ain't got no honor to defend, ain't no one gonna defend you, man.
They were afraid to go to the toilet. They moved around in packs. Like, there was this knowledge in the back of their mind, like, there are men here who will seize the opportunity to do something to me because they don't feel like anything's going to happen to them as a result of doing that. Imagine being a man and only having to worry that the world might end or society might collapse, and not also having to worry about what the other gender will do to you if that happens. Like, some things are worse than death. And women are walking around with the knowledge that what keeps them safe is this tiny thread of a threat that men might pay the price if they do something like that. Once that's gone,